We continue to protect you from high prices. Get your bumpers, AYB, HID, LEDs, radiators and fans, AC compressors. Telephone 876-952-6109. The time by Advantage Auto Parts is
8:33.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is the Entertainment Buzz.
Hear me told ya.
Yo, yo, yo. What them say? Up to the buzz. Me don't know. The buzz.
you know how we roll.
This is the Entertainment Buzz. Further on in the buzz.
That is why they borrow our things. And them searching. Like what just on a clip them away.
What we gonna do right here is go back, way back into time.
Sky, are you? All the respect them eyes up. Like a flag. Hear me now? So bounty. Dig it way.
Entertainment Buzz are the real thing, man. Sight.
And now, our feature presentation.
Yes, sir. We want to say a very special welcome to the EBUZZ. I'm DJ Bones.
And I'm Kishima Francis. Of course, welcome to our listeners. I mean, those of you who are logged on right now at irefm.net and for persons right across the island. I mean, it's not curfew time yet, so they can be outside.
They got a little time. They got up until about 10 o'clock. So people who are out on the roads are imploring you to be safe and navigate your way home or wherever your destination is safely. The accidents on the road are absolutely ridiculous. They're happening too often. And most times it's carelessness, most likely speeding. And we understand a major accident happened today on the highway where there were deaths and a massive pileup of vehicles.
Which highway?
I'm going to assume it's the toll. But,
okay.
Yeah, but it was bad. We saw them on IRFM's Instagram, the vehicles, and they really looked mangled. So we're going to be asking people to be safe, navigate your way home safely, carefully, and once you get into your yard, give thanks to the man upstairs and say, thank you, Lord, for carrying me home safely.
No, absolutely, especially in these times. I mean, a lot is going on the roadways. And, you know, like you said, we can't implore our listeners enough to just take the necessary precaution. Right.
We want to say a very special welcome to everyone. And, of course, join us on our social media pages, Instagram, IRIFM_JA, Twitter, IRI_FM, and join us on Facebook at just IRIFM. Interesting show here tonight.
I know, but before we get into the deets, of course, you know, I don't know if you saw this information where while the CDC, the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, has basically elevated the travel notice for Jamaica to level 3, which means that they're warning United States citizens against travel to the island due to the high risk of COVID-19. You have the United Kingdom of come next Thursday, no mask wearing. And they are basically putting aside all the COVID-19 protocols. Their plan B. They're now reverting to plan A, no mask in school and that sort of thing. What do you make of all of this, Bones? One side of the spectrum, observe the protocols, and here it is, you have another country. Come next Thursday, they are looking and anticipating to aborting all the protocols.
What I think is that there's a plethora of confusion and misinformation. Now, if the United States can tell Jamaica or tell their citizens to be warned because of the corona here, what about, the increase in cases, but the numbers in the United States is ridiculous compared. Yes, it's a bigger area. They're having 1,500 deaths a day, sometimes up to 70,000 cases a day, and even places some more. How do you? And so I don't understand how they square that versus Britain, who is now reverting to different things. Also, Britain is now saying that you don't even need to have a test. You just need to,
they're saying that they are eradicating the mandatory vaccine cards. So, everything that you were just weeks ago, you were thought to believe as these are protocols to be adhered to because of the COVID-19 virus. Another conversation is that COVID isn't going anywhere and we just have to learn how to live with it, similarly like how we're living with the flu virus.
As I say, and the confusion, I think, is in the messaging. Because you hear one thing this minute, then you hear another thing. We understand that they're working along with science, and whenever they pick up different bits of information, sometimes it changes what they just put out. But it is actually, they have to also understand that this affects people's lives, and the messaging that goes out, especially if the message is sort of flip-flop. They tell you 1 minute.
Would you agree that the United States CDC is a part of the confusion as it relates to the information being disseminated to people?
Yes, definitely. They say if you are vaccinated, you can quarantine for 5 days without having a test. If you're not feeling, if you're feeling well, you can go back to work. And then another time they were saying you have to have a test to go back to work. So it's a little bit confusing, and I don't understand why.
And just to add to your point, because I'm in total agreement with you, Bones, that they helped to fuel the confusion that people are getting. Initially, persons thought that becoming fully vaccinated is a thing. I mean, no, what does it mean to be fully vaccinated? It doesn't mean anything. How many shots do you actually need to be fully vaccinated?
And there's another bit of confusion to that vaccination point. When you say you're vaccinated, so normally you take 2 shots of either Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, 1 shot of Johnson & Johnson. Now with this new Omicron or whatever, they're saying that you need a booster. And if you don't get the booster, you're not considered fully vaccinated because you don't have the full round of shots.
And yet the booster does not fully protect you against Omicron.
None of the vaccines, as I say, protect you from infection. I just think they protect you from, to a point.
Hospitalization.
Anyway. Serious disease, to a point. Because we're still having people who are vaccinated who are in the hospital. So it is a difficult thing going on.
As someone who is fully vaccinated, I mean, at the time when it was considered to be fully vaccinated,
the booster this weekend, yes.
Okay. That was my question, just to basically ask, how are you truly feeling? Because are seeing that there is obvious, clear confusion as it relates to what needs to be done, and you have been following the processes in terms of, okay, you need to do this, you're doing it, you're following the protocols, and here you are at risk.
At risk, as a matter of fact. I'm just assuming that because of mutations, things change, and I think this is what is giving them a challenge in terms of how to disseminate the information. But I think they can disseminate the information better. Slow down a little bit, look at their data, but you can't be putting out this and then the next week they put out something else, saying something else. Wait a little bit and see if you can get something more concrete.
Do you foresee that Britain is leading the way, especially effective next Thursday, when their zero protocols will kick in? Persons are just living their life and they're going back to normal, full speed. Do you foresee Jamaica and in essence the world will take a similar path, or do you think that it is chaos in the making?
That I don't know. There has to be a method to the madness, or there must be a method to something why Britain is doing what they're doing. They must have some data on it. I think one of the things that a lot of them are looking forward to, they claim that the Omicron is more, not as severe as the Delta, and it is more transmissible. So what I'm thinking of is that apart from vaccination, they hope to have some herd immunity, meaning a lot more people are going to get it because it's so transmissible. But they're saying it is not so severe, and there will be a little bit of immunity to it. I don't know if that's their thinking, but let us see. I would like to know the rationale for why they are relaxing measures the way they are. There must be some data behind it. I don't know if they told any data. Did they disseminate any information?
I didn't see any data, but what I read was we have to learn how to live with COVID just as how we are living with the flu virus. And that was just basically the comparison in terms of moving on with your life. If you're going around persons who you haven't been around or you don't know, then wear a mask, protect yourself. But it is still not mandatory, according to UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. So that's what we're getting.
Well, the flu, you don't have to wear no mask either when you had the flu. So you just go. I guess them just say them and live them life. Let us see where this goes. It could be a tricky thing, but they've tried everything. The masking up, the locking down, the restrictions, the curfews. And
don't forget the vaccines.
And the vaccines. The vaccines have worked to a point because it has reduced deaths and it has reduced severe illness. But I think the whole idea of novel meaning new, this thing will always be mutating because that's what viruses do. Especially if there's...
That's what we have been seeing. I mean, there was one called IHU. Yeah. Then there is Omicron. I'm sure by the time the buzz ends at 10 o'clock,
there'll be a new one.
It's probable that there could be a new variant.
Right.
I mean, I can't keep up anymore. I can only say to persons, as I have been saying since day one, just try to keep your immune system healthy. And part of that is ensuring that you're getting adequate sleep, you're eating right, and you're fueling the body in the right and proper way. And, take care of your temple.
Take care of your temple. And, of course, food is medicine. So, if you know that you need something to build your immune system, a lot of people take a little punch that I take now and then, which is a blend of turmeric, ginger, a little lime.
Did you make that yourself, or you visit a holistic?
I got it pre-prepared,
Me hungry?
No, not me hungry. A juice place in Montego Bay. But
Okay.
it's turmeric and it's ginger. It is a little lime or lemon with a little cayenne pepper and some honey.
No, man, you have to do what you have to do. I mean, my water these days is a fusion of lemon and ginger, just because I can. And every now and again, I'll just have a spoonful of honey and lemon, or I'll just do a blend of lemon, honey, garlic. You have to just do what you have to do.
You can't lose with that blend. And of course, apart from building your immune system, it is anti-inflammatory. So, and they will tell you that inflammation is one of the biggest causes of diseases in the body.
Mucus,
and mucus inflammation, So, and insulin too. Insulin resistance causes a lot too. So you can control that with diet, enough fiber and
man, reset your body and get it right.
Just change the clock, man. 0 it, and you're good again. Yes.
So what a conversation. We're not even talk about what's coming up in the buzz because so much is happening. Coming up, we're going to have a discussion, Bones. We're looking at crime and violence across the island. I mean, it continues to rise, but should celebrities use their influence to assist the government in the fight against crime?
I think we've had this conversation. I don't know if we had it, but it's a conversation I've heard out there. What I don't understand, celebrities, let us say our entertainers, very, very vocal people, very influential. But for some reason, I don't know, I have a friend named Glamatan who was on here some time back, and he said negativity around the world because when they have these things that are creating, let us say it is promoting crime, violence, somehow the masses grab onto that. And they don't grab onto the positivity. You're singing a culture song, you're doing something positive. It gets some likes or it gets some attention, but not the likes that you'd want. But if we could have everybody promoting positivity and helping to stop the scourge of crime, it would be so good. But will the people react to it the right way, especially the criminals? And say, something, what am I singing that song is very positive. We need to stop what we're doing. Will it have that effect?
I truly fail to believe that majority of Jamaicans are criminals, right? So the criminals are the lesser within the population.
So true.
So together we are stronger and can absolutely ultimately curb. I'm not going to say eradicate at this point because we have a very long way to go. We absolutely can. And it's not even a job or a task for just celebrities, but curbing crime, in my opinion, is a job for us as citizens, upstanding citizens. We have a social responsibility. And the sooner more of us get this and understand that you don't need to facilitate crime, or crime is not just the Prime Minister's problem because you voted for him, you put him there, and it is his job to ensure that you can live in a safe environment. Yes, that is true. Right. But also in the same breath, you as an individual, you as a member within the society, I believe that you have a responsibility too.
You know, I couldn't agree with you more. One of the things that I always thought of, crime and criminality is a symptom of a bigger problem. And what we need to find out is the root cause. And this is where I think celebrities or people of influence can help, because they can gather people and they can get people's attention. If we can find out a lot of different reasons cause crime, poverty, socioeconomic factors and so on, always have a contributing factor to crime.
Interestingly that you went there, Bones. As you mentioned root cause and you list those things, I believe that the root cause of crime and violence in our society, it goes back to parenting.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I think that is one of the problems, because
it's one of
the problems, because I have seen where you have a home, and I think the home features are wholesome. Some of them are very upstanding citizens. They try to put the right principles into their children. Some of those children somehow still succumb to either peer pressure or something outside for whatever reason. But the home is one of the problems. We also have outside influences. That's another one of the problems. Because, I know somebody, his father is a pastor and his mother is a teacher. But him out there hanging out with the biggest gangs and doing stupidness. Why would he do that? Or why would the child do that?
Sometimes the foundation that you think the pastor and the teacher are building at home, they're not really building it, because I'm sure you can listen to gun songs, but then what is the likelihood of you going out there and picking up a gun and doing what a song is telling you to do? For instance, you can go out, because at home, basically, we're teaching and training our children to live in the society. You sort of giving them an introduction as to what the world can be.
Yes.
So you have to be firm. I mean, nobody's perfect. People will make mistakes, of course, but the foundation will have to be solid enough where they're not easily shaken or they're not easily led by others and can stand firm.
Yeah, uphold the values that they've been taught. And for some reason, sometimes too, and it depends on how it is done, because you can tell or teach your child values, but then you also can do it in a way where they feel as if they are so coddled and so they have no control because of what the parents, and out of curiosity and other things, they go out and say, yeah, them always tell me this, but I wonder how this is. And sometimes they go outside and get themselves into trouble. I don't know, but there's so many different factors that are causing crime and criminality. And I think one of the scariest parts about it is the barbarity of it now. It's not just people just kill people now. They're doing it in such a
children and women.
Chop them up it is, every time you normally hear, there was a shooting and there was a man get robbed around the corner. No, they will rob you and still mutilate you beyond recognition and move on. Why is the barbarity so high? It is very bad. So that's another reason we need to look into why is it like that? What is the cause of that?
Someone just texted, I think the person is Winsome. She just texted across social media saying, until the people change their mindset, the problem will always remain the same. Another thing too, on Road to Success on Easy Skanking, I had a conversation with Queen Ifrica and Nesbeth. Both of them ended their journey by saying that for many years we have been saying, Jamaica, land we love. Let us pour some of that love into the people by start saying, Jamaica, people we love. Ultimately giving love to each other, the land will take care of itself and flourish, and that love will undoubtedly spill over. Because in truth, people are hostile towards each other because there is no love. There is no love for your brother or your sister. There is no love for each other.
And this is what I don't understand. Why is there no love? What is the rationale for that? For a country that preaches love, because we preach a lot of love, we talk about how love in this country. You have cities down in Montego Bay, the friendly city. That is the most unfriendly city right now. A lot of crime happening there and other places. And what is causing it? A bit of it is frustration. A lot of it is poverty. A lot of it is just criminality in the mindset. As I said, the mindset of the people who are doing these things has to change.
Will have to change. But where do you tackle the mindset? We're coming full circle,
Yeah.
You tackle the mindset in the home, because ultimately as parents, if your child is a child that gives a lot of problems or give a lot of trouble then.
Yeah.
What are you doing to curtail that? Or do you just brush it aside? Sure, Bones love get too much trouble, or as a Bones stay.
No, that can't work.
Or you don't try to deal with the issue. You don't try to communicate with the child. And that is because a lot of parents, yes, we don't have it all together, but how many parents are actually having a conversation with their children? How many parents are actually allowing their child or children to openly express themselves and talk about what is bothering them, talk about what is happening, and work on that mindset? Help to nurture the tree when it's young. I mean, don't try you can't change it when it's a massive tree. Deal with it in the shrub stage of things.
Yeah,
So
you're right, because once it's a tree, it's already set in its ways. It's going to be very hard.
Set in its ways.
I think that the way that we need to talk to the mindset, where we could use the celebrities now, is for them, because they are looked up to and people listen to them. Find a way, either through music or through outreach programs, maybe town halls, maybe a series of them, and have a conversation now, not a monologue. Because a lot of times they just preach to people, say, you don't need to stop this, I don't need to stop that. People need to tell them, what is it? What are you seeing in your community? Why is this happening? What are you noticing? Is it that there's high levels of unemployment? Is it that it's just that people don't want to work? They just want to get rich quick, so they don't stick up people and rob them? What are you seeing? And somehow find a way to, work on the root. That is root causes. It's not even just a cause. But you have a few causes there that need to be worked on. And I get the feeling they did some work on that. We may have a little bit of a breakthrough and find a way of trying to stem it. But it is a big, big problem. And it's not just here. I mean, it is worldwide.
It is everywhere. And as you mentioned, the celebrities, I think when it comes on to certain things like positivity, do you get this impression like it's just the same set of entertainers, for instance, or influencers who push a certain positive message? Like we need that to change, where some unlikely persons who don't normally do it and they are renowned for certain type of lyrics to just step out of that and showcase something else, because the situation really it reached to a stage or a level. I mean, you can think about the names of persons who always preaching positivity: the Queen Ifrica, the Cecile, the Kabaka Pyramid, the Agent Sasko, Bounty Killer through his social media platforms and so forth. Do we need to have some more faces join those set of entertainers? And so many others do it on a daily basis across social media. But is that enough?
When I think of all the good and the philanthropic efforts of a bounty killer, and knowing where he's coming from, because he was come on, when Bounty back in the early days, Bounty would have preached some serious gun lyrics and so on, and he got a lot of big ups for that when he came on stage and him saying, "People dead," and the place lift up, and he realizes that yes, there's a time and place, but I now have to change how I do things. And I think with somebody now who is kind of been on the two sides of the sphere now, where he has been the bad man, he's still having like a bad man thing still, but he's also changing how he does things. He's doing things uplifting, he's helping with charities, he's doing good for the community. I don't know, somebody like him, somebody who has gone two sides of the fence, I think can reach out to some of these people who are doing the criminality, because he has really changed a lot in terms of how he operates, you know, so we never know. But we need to find a way to get to this root problems, or one of the problems.
I will say to parents, do what you can.
And if you need
do
help,
what you can.
And if the parents need help, help with them. Get guidance from a counselor or something if what the child is doing or displaying is something that you can't control. But as you say,
because usually there are telltale signs. Parents know. You're the first ones who know what you're growing, what you have in your house, who you have in your house, who you're growing, and what their capabilities are.
Right. So, you know, parents, pay attention to your children. When you see behavior that is not normal, you need to attack it right away and say, no, this is wrong. You can't operate like that. And I don't know why you're behaving like that. Some of them will say, we never raised you like that. Where is this coming from? But you need to stem that and really instill that behavior is unacceptable, and it is only going to get worse. It's only going to metastasize and spread if you just leave the behavior to get out of hand. So so we really have to do it. It's a bunch of things, as you say. The parents.
I mean, when you look at you had grandmother and perhaps great grandmother and grandfather and great grandfather that could instill knowledge in you, that could talk to you about your moral values and talk to you about society and, you know, speak life into you. But now it's a situation where you have a whole generation that is not necessarily being replaced because the grandmothers and grandfathers now are too young. Yeah. They're not about that life. They're not about instilling morals and values. They're not about that. They're about, okay, so we'll touch out later.
Yeah, because I'm still young.
How the thing said, can I borrow this wig or whatever the case is, but if grandparents and grandmothers and grandfathers are dying out and they're not being replaced, what will happen?
It's pure young people as grandparents, and no, it is a serious thing. But it's something that a collective effort has to be made with all parties, and let us see how we can stop the scourge of crime. It is terrible, and I know the pandemic is helping with it because people are frustrated, but we need to do something because every week.
And we can't even just say people are frustrated. Deal with your frustration differently. Don't go and be frustrated and kill somebody. My grandmother was murdered. Her throat was slashed. Yeah. Her killer is still at large. You know what I mean?
Don't find that killer yet. We need to find him.
There are so many things to just be upset and outraged about. So we can't make any excuses. Like, it is what it is. You don't get frustrated, and because you're frustrated or whatever you're feeling, you're going to take it out on another human being. Right. We have to have love for each other.
We need to...
I think we have a vox pop. So, you know, let's go to that. So the question we're asking, crime and violence across the island continues to rise. Should celebrities use their influence to assist the government in the fight against crime?
I think we have a time signal, so I probably want to take that, and then we go straight to the vox pop.
Ringo's Haberdashery and Gift Center, 39 Barnett Street, Montego Bay, is now offering special prices on household items, bicycle and bicycle parts, baby clothing and accessories. Telephone 9523492. The time by Ringo's Haberdashery and Gift Center is
9:01.
Yeah, everybody have put in their hand. Can just sit down and say the government. Not even celebrities, people on a whole. It's just true we live in a society where we say inform of the dead, so that's why certain things now.
Yes, they should, because they have a bigger fan base and you have DJs or role models.
Yes, they should use their influence because they have the influence over all the persons in Jamaica, so it is most likely that they would actually reach the average Jamaican.
That's interesting. Yeah. So they say they need to use their influence to help. Yeah, they can get some messages across, but the people need to change their mindset and accept the messages of positivity and showing love for each other. That was a nice short, but
short and to the point. And they basically covered everything that we were seeing, Bones.
Yeah, definitely. And boy, we got a lot of things going on tonight, boy, I tell you. So I understand that the 2020 staging of the 64th edition of the Grammy Awards will be held on April 3. And the Grammys, originally scheduled to take place on January 31, 2022, was postponed due to an increase in positive COVID cases arising from the Omicron strain of the virus. And we understand that in a release on Instagram, the official account of the Recording Academy shared that the awards have been rescheduled and will now broadcast live from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, on Sunday, April 3 at 8 p.m., and it's hosted by Trevor Noah. On January 5, the Academy announced a postponement of the awards. Entertainers Gramps, Morgan, Soja, Spice, Jesse Royal, Etan, and Sean Paul are up for a Grammy in the Best Reggae Album category. So we're going to have some sort of a Grammy, maybe not a full crowd, but it's going to be at the MGM Grand. So you kind of shot cross,
right? Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, but that's a good look. Grammy finally gave us a date. Yeah. I know initially some persons were wondering, what will happen? Will there be a new date? And here it is, April 3. We have persons online saying Etana, I go win. Everybody's got their favorite.
Yeah, and whoever wins, we want to say big ups to them. They're all very, very qualified people to be in the category, and whoever wins, just big them up. It's another strike in the hat for reggae and our music, so thanks.
No, of course, Shensia and Megan Thee Stallion, they have teamed up for a new song titled Lick. And of course, they're dropping that song on Friday. I know the Shenyangs are waiting eagerly to hear what that Shensia Megan Thee Stallion collaboration will sound like. So we have 2 days to go?
Looking forward to that. And another thing that is very important, the application period for the Culture and Creative Industry COVID-19 grant program has ended. There was some money set aside to help people in the industry, the entertainment industry. So the Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, Olivia Green, said the program has been oversubscribed and her ministry has stopped taking new applications. She said, she said that they had anticipated about 1,000 applications. They had a very good response, but in a very short time, however, they have surpassed their target of applications. So on December 18, the ministry announced the $90 million special support package. Then, since the program has received nearly 1,400 applicants from a wide cross-section of the entertainment, culture, and creative industry. These are practitioners, including sound system operators, musicians, singers, sound engineers, and stage hands, film and video producers, writers, journalists, among others. And, this is an industry that has been so cramped because of COVID. So I think they should have put some more out there because it would have been oversubscribed. It's a big business and it's a big field.
It is, and it's not just for entertainers alone. I mean, like you say, it's a big field. So, will there be another one to ensure that persons who got shut out will get an opportunity? We don't know, but we'll continue to follow it and see what transpires.
She says the Grange is to announce the details of the support program for organizations at a later date. So maybe there's going to be something else
more
coming out for them across. So,
wow. Well, guess what?
What?
Before we go to Don Reid, or music artist, and this is just a follow-up, a catching up with Don.
Yeah, man.
Because he's been on before, and we want to find out what's going on. We understand big things are happening for him, musically and also in his professional life.
Ever.
So we're going to have that conversation. But right after social media highs and lows with Shanice Williams and Tristan Wilson.
It's now time for social
social media high and low.
Girl, you know so what going on social media.
Yeah, girl, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
It's your social media highs and lows.
Like I every other day, them find something new for try. Them no mention my name, them no feel them not alive.
This and every Wednesday we've got the online buzz.
I'm Tris.
And I'm Shanice.
Let's jump right into the highs for this week. Dancehall princess Shensia has social media buzzing. This came after she made an Instagram post late yesterday to announce the release of the new single Lick, which is featuring herself and American rapper Meg Thee Stallion. And of course, this is expected to drop on Friday. The comment section instantly went crazy with fire emojis, with many including celebrities commenting that they are just ready and can't wait for the single to drop. Among them was actress Taraji P. Henson, who said, patiently waiting. So of course, you know we can't wait to see that. Another superstar doing undoubtedly well is the unruly boss, of course, Popcorn. This came after he received a king's welcome as well as a sold-out show at the Bakau Independence Stadium in Gambia on Sunday. And this was his first ever performance in the country. The Bakau Stadium reportedly has a 40,000 capacity, and the standard tickets for the event were 1,000 Gambian dollars, or about $18. However, just based on the drone footage that was posted on his Twitter, it's safe to say history was made and that Gambia loves the unruly boss.
Now, speaking of Popcorn, let's jump right into the lows for this week. So yes, Popcorn wowed the crowd in Gambia, but he also wasted no time in dissing his former unruly members, Unruly Cuz and Petro. While performing Invaluable, he decided to remix the lyrics and address his beef with Unruly Cuz, who now goes by Bad Cuz and Petro. Now, while Poppy sang in front of the masses, he replaced the line, Petro and Cuz go and check off a mill, and instead added a disparaging comment about their mothers. Now, neither Unruly Cuz nor Petro took Popcorn's words lightly as they lashed out at the DJ on Instagram. Petro made some nasty comments in his post and added some laughing emojis to it. He continued his slander with some choice words for the DJ, calling him a puppy show and told him to do likewise with his mother, and so did Unruly Cuz. Now, Unruly Cuz let off his own shots on social media as he labeled Popcorn as a jealous and envious person, while hinting that Popcorn has never actually given him $1 million. He said, and moreover, you never give away $1 million, so stop tell lie in a song. All me can say, trouble dede.
So from Shensia and the unruly boss making us proud,
to Popcorn dissing his former unruly members,
who do you think took social media this week?
Well, that's for another conversation. Check it before you click it, because once you hit send, you may be a social media high or low.
And that's your social media highs and lows. Catch us next Wednesday for What's Buzzing.
I'm Shanice.
And I'm Tris. Bye!
All right.
Easy, you know.
Thank you so much, Tris and Shanice. Bye.
I tell you this.
They're calling it as it is.
Yeah, they are. You know, right now, it's now time for our music artist, but we'd like to do this like a follow-up because he's been here before, and it's always good to have him. I'd like to give him his proper title. So we want to say a special good evening to Donovan Reid, a.k.a. Don Reid, a recording artist, musician, songwriter, comedian, actor, and of course, not leaving out the money part, he's also a bank manager. And Don is here to give us an update on what's happening with him. Don, welcome back to the EBUZZ, my brother. How you do?
Welcome, Don Reid.
Bless up, Bones. Bless up, Kashima.
How you doing, man? How you
good,
been?
I'm good, you know. I'm doing good, giving thanks, you know.
You know what
Great
I want
thing.
to ask you, Don? I mean, you have garnered some success, more success, additional success as a bank manager.
Yeah.
And even though that is happening, you're still keeping your passion to pursue music just the same. But being a bank manager and being an entertainer, the music, the two things are equally demanding in terms of your time. How are you able to maintain being successful, especially with your job as a bank manager, and still doing the music? What is that balance like?
Well, it is, I'm not going to say it's very easy to balance them, because it's not.
Right.
But what I'm blessed with what the average person is not blessed with is that the capacity that I have and the energy and the pace at which I do things is beyond the ordinary. So I'm able to get more things done in a shorter time than most people. And also, you know, I've been blessed with also, I'm what you call a deep sleeper. So The rest I get in 4 hours will take the average person 8 hours to get that rest. So I can operate on 5 hours sleep per night on average, you know? So that way I do my banking, and banking is almost right around the clock. I'm doing people calling me 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the night, right? But in between that, you have to keep the passion burning, the fire burning, because, you know, when I'm doing what I love outside of banking, then I'm more energized and motivated to perform even better at banking.
What I see with you, Don, is that you seem to work exceptionally well under pressure. If things are looking really like you have a lot of things that you have to juggle, that's when you seem to be at your best. It's like this is just a sweet challenge for you. I've seen how you operate. Tell us a little bit about, we want to do a check-in with you, an update with you. The last time you were here, you nearly kill off a man with one little sound clash thing inside of the studio here.
Yeah, man.
What is new with Don Reid? What are you promoting now?
All right, great things. So ever since I did my first song, Hospital Food, that blew up and I was on all the TV stations and radio shows, I had promised and announced that I was working on an EP with 8 songs, right? Of 8 songs. And but I over-delivered. I have now released my debut album with 17 tracks.
What?
Called Boom Shots.
Boom Shots.
No. Right. No, I've branded it the Laugh and Rock album because, you know, my brand of music is social commentary with a hilarious twist to it. So I'm talking about, I'm singing about issues that a wide cross-section of people can relate to, but I'm making it very, very real to life, very, very funny. You know, so from track 1 to 17 is non-stop laughter, but with excellent arrangements, and good music, good lyrics.
Nice.
And talking about making it real to life, Don Reid, you just shared a short film, I Know Who I Am, and it basically chronicles your life story that was released last year. Share with us some of the feedback that you receive following the release of this short film about your life, talking about the hardships, the challenges, the struggles, and the victory.
Man, the feedback was awesome because when I released that, incidentally, that song, not just a song, but a short film, which is about 12 minutes long, took me about 3 days to shoot. It's the most grueling video shoot I've ever been on. But you know what? It was worth it. I went back to where it all started, back in my hometown of Claremont St. Ann, and big up everybody up there in Claremont St. Ann. Big up Slugger, you know, man, only my real ties. But so many people could relate to that short film, you know, because it touched on the background and the challenges and the struggles of so many persons. And I didn't even realize that so many persons have snippets of my story, not the full gamut range of challenges that I endured, but parts of it. So many persons reach out to me, some persons that I would never imagine have reached out to me. Big corporate executives in Jamaica, people overseas. I was getting messages on all platforms. Even up to now, they haven't stopped. People buy my album just because of that single, which incidentally is not on the album, right? It's going to be on another project that I have, that I'm going to be working on in a little while. But people buy Boom Shots. Just a lot of persons have bought Boom Shots because of I Know Who I Am.
Right.
Yeah, because it speaks to so much. It speaks to the core and the origination, the foundation of so many persons' lives. So that for me was satisfaction in terms of what I've put out so far and what I've done in terms of music. You know, if there's ever no reward, that satisfaction alone that I've touched so many persons' lives and they're able to relate to what I'm saying and get inspiration and motivation to push on from what they have seen in me. So I'm blessed by that.
That is absolutely awesome. Don, there's a song called, is it Hey Now?
Yes, no. Yes, no.
Yes, no. Is that the one that is a single that you're pushing out right now in terms of?
Absolutely. That song I have not, I mean, I post a snippet of it, just at the hook and maybe parts of the first verse. And everybody who have heard that song loves the song. So this song is speaking about the ills of the English language, you know, and how challenged and confusing it is. So almost everybody can relate to the English language being so confusing. I mean, they tell us 1 foot, 2 feet, but yet still a pair boot is not a pair beat, you know?
Why don't we give the listeners a little taste of that?
Yeah, man, give them a little taste. Give them a little taste.
All right, Don, what I'd love for you to do, introduce it in your own Don Reid style, and we'll play it here in studio.
All right, no problem.
All right.
English is the worst language. Me I try call a word, I'm a liver damage. Exam I come on, me head now manage. Look like my brain want to call me porridge. You know, so basically, so run it. Basically, the song will tell everything.
All right, so let's hear it.
Yeah. C-E-G-B-F-D, still don't know my ABC. J-I-K-H-M-L-N-O-V, English language come for mad me. Yes now, Spanish town, English class, make no for them a frown. Yes now, you know see walker down, them a screechy eyed Miss Brown. Yes now, scatter round, some under tree, someday a ball ground. Yes now, poker brown, report come no for them blunt clown. English are the worst language, me a try call the word down, me liver damage. Exam a come on, me head now manage. Look like me brain won't come in porridge. Tell me the plural a man is me. So how come the plural a pan and a pen? Tell me how comes 1 foot 2 feet, but a pair of boot is not pair of beat. How comes after school, teacher did talk, but after church, preacher never promise. East and west, where you find most not. English language is a big cacophone. Yes now, Spanish now, English now, nobody go wrong. Yes now, you know see what I got down. Them a street hide Miss Brown. Yes now, scatter round, some under trees, someday a ball ground. Yes now, come around.
What going Matilda?
What song we are going with?
You want to sit in the house and watch me big scream TV?
Big scream?
You know what I want to ask you, Don? We
Yep.
know sometimes with corporate Jamaica, like we know how it is with them. Do you have the creative freedom when you're producing music, or do you always in the back of your mind have to take into consideration your position and your role at the bank as a bank manager?
Absolutely. You have asked a very, very interesting and profound question.
Yes.
and the question is absolutely. You know, doing music, doing comedy is no different from any other the life of any other banker, really. In that, as a banker, there are certain code of ethics that we have to observe.
Right.
So whether we're on social media, whether we're out in the public, we have to dress, we have to act our behavior as to conform with the professional profile and role that we have.
Right.
So doing music is no different. Of course, it is not. I don't have all the creative freedom that I would like, you know. Right. But that's fine, because even if I was not an artist or a comedian, I still would have had to be mindful of certain code of ethics. So when there are certain positions and certain roles, there are just certain things that you have to be mindful of. It's so different in recording. So some of the songs that I probably want to put out are lyrics. You know, I know I wouldn't be able to put out those because I have to be mindful of those, my position. Right. So yes, you're correct.
And another question for the album Boom Shots. Tell us a little bit about the mechanics of it. Who are some of the people you worked with on the album? Are there any collaborations, or it's just pure Don Reid? And tell us about producers and so on.
Yeah, so all right, so collaborations there are no collaborations on the album. This is all Don Reid.
Okay.
All singles. I worked with 3 producers for the album. Mm-hmm. So the main producer is Danny Brownie of Main Street Records.
Nice.
And Danny, as you know, is a veteran in the music business.
Right.
His name goes without much explanation, really. So that, in fact, incidentally, the first 3 or 4 songs I did, 5 songs were Danny that produced them. And I've learned so much and grown so much from that association with him, because Danny has just a meticulous eye for detail.
Yes.
His standard and his craftsmanship and his finished product is just top standard, top notch.
Right.
So that has helped me a lot. That has helped me a lot. He has guided me, in terms of packaging, in terms of how we package the songs, or what he thinks will work, what will not. So I am blessed to have that association, and our relationship transcends a producer and artist. Where we our birthdays are like 3 days apart.
Nice.
And we share so much. That's a relationship we have. It's like we are like brothers.
Nice.
Another producer I worked with on the album is a producer. We call him Jupiter. Incidentally, he's the producer for the 2019 festival popular song competition winner, which is Loaded Eagle. So I've worked with him on a number of the tracks. And he's pretty good. He knows his stuff as well. And I've also worked with one other producer who incidentally dropped the bass. You're supposed to know drop the bass very well.
Yeah, man. That's Mr. Kruger.
And Keshiba, right? So he works with like Sanchez and Sister Marian, formerly Lady Saw, a few artists. So I've been blessed to be associated with some people who know the business,
Yes.
And that has helped me in terms of the final product of my songs.
Okay.
Before we wrap down, what advice would you give to the person listening now who already has a job in being a part of corporate Jamaica, but their passion is the music? You are able to juggle the two so well. What advice would you give to that person who is basically at a crossroads? They want to pursue their passion, but then they don't know if that passion can pay the bills.
All right. The first thing I would say, go for it. If that is your passion and you have confidence in your ability, don't even hesitate. Start right now, however small, in whatever way. How I started out doing music was just writing some songs and use my phone, record it, and put it on social media. Don't know how to tune, off key, everything. But guess what? People started to latch on to them.
Right.
And then I started to improve my product and my quality when I hooked up with these producers. So go for it. The second thing I would say, if you're going to pursue your passion, you're certainly not going to give up your 9 to 5 immediately. Not at all. I haven't given up mine.
Smart. Right. That's not smart.
But what you have to do, you have to ensure that your performance on your 9 to 5, you have to up the ante. So if you're performing at 70%, you have now lift that to 90. Mm-hmm. If you're performing at 90, you have to move that to 100 because you're going to come under much more scrutiny. So I have to be on top of my game. And the challenge, trust me, I love the challenge because that is putting pressure on me. And as Boone said, I work well when I'm under pressure.
Very well.
So I'm going to step up my game. I have to be one of the top performers at my job.
Right.
Because that now allows me and give me the leverage and the acceptance and the endorsement to do what I do musically.
And we understand that the job has changed a little bit in terms of, if you want to update us on that, in terms of the banking, what has happened?
Promotion.
Yeah, promotion, things. Right?
Well, I don't normally talk about my professional side and in the music interviews, but I've been blessed to. I've just been promoted just last month. So I'm now a more senior manager with the Ocheers branch.
Yes.
So everybody can bring them business to NCB Ocheers.
Oh, you mean promote? Yes.
And so that of course comes with its own demands, new demands and challenges, which makes it even more exciting for me.
That's right.
So it's just now about how you manage your time,
yes,
how you ensure that you're on top of the game, and of course, how you balance it too. So it's really a good challenge, a good act for me,
And the album is available on all platforms now.
The album is available on over 150 digital music platforms across anywhere music is sold: Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, Deezer, everywhere it's there. So once you put in Don Reid Boom Shots, it's there. You can buy one single of the album, you can buy the entire album, or you can just stream it.
Awesome.
I also have hard copies for those who know me. I want to reach out. I have hard copies if you want an autograph, signed hard copies.
Oh, you mean?
And for those, you will get a complimentary Don Reid Boom Shots branded mask. for that.
No, sir.
I also must tell you that I'm in the middle of planning an album launch, what they call it, launch party, which my fans will get more information in a short while, but it's likely to be the end of February at Plantation Smokehouse. So those are pretty much in trade now. So you will listen out for more information on the launch party. As we move into ramping up promotion of the album.
Awesome.
Well done.
And one last thing before I go. Yeah. Also for that single Yes Now Spanish Town, I'm shooting the official video for that next week actually. So fans can just wait excitedly to see that will be funny, hilarious. I mean, if you think Courts was anything, just wait until you see this one.
All right.
Don, big up yourself and congratulations on all your accomplishments, and thanks for sharing with us and giving us this update.
Keep doing it,
every
brother.
Time.
Keep doing it.
Every time. And bless up yourself, Bones. Bless up Kashima, and bless up all the listeners of IRFM.
Yes,
Love
sir.
And bless up all the Don Reid supporters over the years. Big up on yourself.
Respect Don Reid, our music artist.
Thank you so much, Don Reid.
Every time.
Bones, what we're going to do now, we're going to jump to At the Movies with Maisha Browdy. When we come back, of course, we have so much more. We also have Fashion Forward. We have Admiral Bailey.
So we're looking out for Bailey coming up next. Keep it locked. But we go to
At the Movies
with Maisha Browdy right now.
Lights, camera, action. Hey movie lovers, welcome to At the Movies. I'm Maisha Browdy. Jamaica now has its own online streaming content platform for Jamaican film and television content. The platform, Sage Network, was launched by Sagicor Group Jamaica on January 5. The platform showcases 100% local content, including short films and other productions from the Jamaica Film and Television Association JAFTA and Sagicor produced content. The platform will also, through its partnership with Dana Wallace International and JAFTA, showcase the diverse talents that exist in the creative space here in Jamaica, providing a channel where local filmmakers and other industry talents can get a direct audience to view their work. Persons can subscribe for free to enjoy all the content currently on the platform by signing up at www.sagebysagicor.com. On the international scene, Netflix users in the United States and Canada will have to fork out more money to use the streaming service. This as the streaming media company is raising the prices on its plans in the two countries. In the United States, the subscription price for the standard plan rose by $1.50 to $15.49, while in Canada, the price went up by $1.50 to $16.49. Explaining its decision, Netflix said it is updating the prices so that it can continue to offer a wide variety of quality entertainment options. Still on the movie scene, beloved actor Sidney Poitier died from a combination of heart failure, Alzheimer's, dementia, and prostate cancer. That's according to the 94-year-old Hollywood icon's death certificate. Poitier died at his home in Beverly Hills, California, United States on January 6. Poitier, who is of Bahamian descent, was the first black man in Hollywood to take home an Oscar for Best Actor, opening the door for progress as to how black people are portrayed on the big screen. He had many groundbreaking roles in the 60s, including 3 legendary films, all released in 1967, To Sir with Love, In the Heat of the Night, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. It's now time for this week's Top 5 movies. At number 5, we have The Matrix Resurrections. At number 4 this week is Encanto. Don't Look Up takes the number 3 spot. At number 2, we have Hotel Transylvania Transformania. And in the number 1 spot this week is The Eternals. If you love great movies and series, go ahead and add these to your watch list. But if you're venturing out to cinemas to watch some of these and more, don't forget that safety is important. So here is a safety tip: always wear a mask. That's a wrap. Join us next week for more exciting movie news. For At the Movies, I'm Maisha Browdy.
Thank you there, Maisha. Have you watched any of those movies?
None of them at all. You know, I've been busy.
Sure.
That's why we can't sit down and watch movies so much. But I mean, Maisha always gives us some good ideas. And a lot of times when I get some of the movies that she lists out, I go and I really search them, find them, and none of them have ever disappointed. So Maisha, no our thing.
Wow.
Maisha, you're shot. You mean, Maisha? So we do have another feature while we're waiting to get Sir Bailey online. So would you like us to go to Fashion Forward?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go to Fashion Forward. What's happening? And this is going to be with Shamara Preston and DJ Lollipop.
Catch him on side.
It's Fashion Forward, a weekly look into what's popping,
what's hot and what's not,
hip and trendy. It's the space for all things fashion.
We clean every day. We clean every day.
High-end brands have become the latest fad. From Louis Vuitton, Gucci to Balenciaga, everyone is copying something from the fashion houses. It is becoming such a huge part of daily dress code that persons are now leaving the tag on their clothes.
Everybody in a brand nowadays, whether it's real or fake, wants a brand people in it.
Great point. But we want to know, should you mix your brand? We reached out to entertainer Statius and she gave us her take on the topic.
I think the mixing of brands, as in brand names, it all depends on the print. If it's something that is printed, or should I say pattern, so you can't make like a floral with a plaid. But once it's not clashing print, I hear clothes and I hear money buy it, so if you choose to wear it, I don't see the issue.
I personally believe you can mix your brand. Once your clothes them look good and they match, no matter which two different brands you wear, you can mix them.
Alright, iOctane puts the fashion into perspective for us.
Here we go. It's a reason why I get the name Atras, because I know about fashion. Now here we go with fashion. You can mix any brand, but you have to know the type of brand. So if you have like Adidas, you don't really look good going with a Nike.
No mix Nike with Adidas.
The only way you can mix it unless one of the brand them no stand out. So you might have a Nike sweatpants, but the brand no stand out pan it. You cannot drop a Adidas shirt over it. But once the brand them stand out, it just look tacky. But in terms of designers now, I'm a mix whole heap of design. I mix Louis V with Versace. You have to know how to do it. If the Louis V shirt load, you get all of Versace pants when are really loud. Maybe a black pants or a white pants, but I just inside of the pants the Versace mark, not Versace all about over the pants itself. And so you have to know how to do it. So you can mix a lot of brands with a lot of brands, but you have to know how to do it. If the brands them loud, if the logo upon the brand them loud outside, you have to tone it down. So if the shirt load, you tone on the pants. And you can go so bomb in a full Versace suit with a Louis V shoes. So it works. But you have to know how to do it. But just the casual brands, them like the Nike and the Adidas, them and the Reebok.
I totally agree with both points, but what I'll say, wear what you have.
And also wear what belongs to you.
I got to have on them a look. Louis Vuitton with the red base. And me spend a couple dead face. Get a fresh pair, man. Now shop fi get seal.
Remember to keep it locked to this space for more fashionable updates. For Fashion Forward, I'm Shamara alongside
DJ Lollipop, the party fanatic.
See you next week.
All right. Thank you there, Shamara and DJ Lollipop. Bones, do you mix your brands?
You see, because I'm not into those, brand business, me wear what me can afford.
Right, you wear what you have. You
I
wear what
me
belongs
have.
to you.
And if me get a gift of a nice brand, and me wear it. And
Same way.
Same so. And me repeat.
Yeah, but those are some good information. Big up to the artists who participated in that Vox Pop.
Octane.
It's a good look.
Octane say, if the brand loud, you have to tone it down with a quiet pants.
And a lie.
Why don't you see
And no lies told. No lies told. Trust me.
Big up yourself,
It's a
Octane.
good
Long time in a see you. Big up yourself, youth. Yeah, so we seem to be having a little bit of issues with Admiral Bailey. So we're going to get to him on the phone and find out what's happening with him, because I don't know if it's where he is, but we're not seeming to get him logged on the Zoom. So we're going to just talk to him straight on the phone. But it's been a while. He hasn't been here now, maybe a 2 year or maybe?
No, but he's now a part of the conversation. Recently
yes.
across social media, he addressed the crime in Jamaica by sharing his crime plan.
Yeah.
Trust me, it makes a lot of sense. He dropped some information, so it's great to have this conversation with him tonight. So, he can talk about it and share some of those very ideas and also talk about what propelled him to take it to that level. Because the thing is, Bones, everybody's talking about the crime problem, the issue that Jamaica is having. But here it is, Admiral came with solutions.
Oh, he had a few. And
number.
Listening to them talking about if a man do a rape, hang. If a man shoot a man, hang. If a man do a little petty robbery, or you call it misdemeanor in the States, well, give him a couple years or so on. He had some interesting points.
Exactly. He also said that allow the police to grow within the force, like, you know, promote them. Do not have somebody sitting in one position for 45 years and then others who are there, it's almost like there is nowhere for them to go. There is no growth. There is no opportunity to level up.
And that's a fair statement, because
it is.
And that does not just go to the police force. Most organizations, if they're not doing that, then the morale is going to be low. When you have somebody in a particular position, they're qualified, they know what they're doing, but for some reason they'd rather take somebody from outside and put them up. It's going to affect the morale. And if in a job like policing, which is literally risking your lives every day.
Every day.
You know, you need to be able
Another
to...
Another point he made is that the police commissioners should come from...
Within the ranks.
Within the ranks. Promote somebody as opposed to getting somebody from outside. Do it that way.
I'm looking at...
a lot of points he shared.
I'm looking at our last guest, Don Reid. Don Reid started with the bank at age...
As a teller.
16.
Or, they're about 16, 17.
16, and he worked his way up to now.
No, he's a bank manager.
So, I mean, it is
in a
fair.
Senior position, he said.
Very senior now. So, big up yourself, Don. But guess what? Our main artist, which
Admiral?
is Admiral
The Admiral is here. But stop following him laughing. You're not nailing it.
Mr. Bailey?
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Should I say the musician, or should I say Coach Bailey? Should I say Coach Musician? I don't know what to call it. You have too much hats. What, Mr. B?
I'm sorry, go in there and hold the past stripe, man. They come with a lot of names, you know?
you know, Admiral, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, man. You touched many persons across social media. Of course, you know, the crime and violence is a big issue where a lot of Jamaicans locally and internationally are talking about. But you didn't just talk about it. You came with your crime plan. What actually propelled you to take this direction when you shared your video across social media platforms? And if you can also highlight some of what you think are solutions that can curb crime and violence.
Well, I mean, you know, as a concerned citizen and somebody that loves his country,
yes,
you know, I mean, enough is just enough, you know. When you have enough and you're speaking from the heart, you don't really have to write a script or you know, you just start from the heart and everything flow. I mean, when you really check it, the year does start. I think we're on 19 days, and the murder rate fly past the amount of days them already. You know, into a new year, and then when you look on the type of killing that is taking place. You know, I mean, it would wake up all the dog that dead already.
Yeah.
You know, to see what really happened. You know, and I mean, if you look at it, right? I remember, you know, when I was a youngster, growing up.
Right.
We are not saying that you didn't have violent crime or you didn't have any bad man back in our days. But what we are saying is that back then, I think the guys then that used to deal with so-called badness, then so to speak, used to deal with it in a way where they still have respect for the elders. Yeah? And how they go about doing stuff. Because back in those days, you know, if a man and Admiral Bailey have something, for argument's sake,
right,
him a wait till him say Admiral Bailey, then him and Admiral Bailey have it out.
Right.
Nowadays, if somebody, an Admiral Bailey have something and he can't find Admiral Bailey, he must wait till him see Admiral Bailey 9-year-old or 5-year-old at school and do away with him.
You know, Bailey, one of the things...
Do away with him mother, do away with him father, wherever. You know, it's like who them catch first and do business.
Well,
and before you come in, if you even look at it, one time, even if you're a man of war or you're afraid, the daylight was like a safe haven. Where you know, say, boy, I did this now, I'm afraid to show him face and now come kill me. Nowadays, middle day, broad daylight, it is no time, no depend when the people them decide so them need to come take your life. You know, so it really get out of hand.
Yeah, you know, Bailey, one of the things we were having a conversation about earlier is not just the criminality, but the barbarity, the level of, it's like they're massacring people. When you look at what is happening now, what do you think? You presented a crime plan, but what do you think are some of the root causes of this kind of criminality where it is so barbaric and gruesome? It's like there's no mercy in any kind of thing these days. What are the things some of the things that you could think could be causing this?
Well, all right. It's only one thing me can put my hand on it, that's that a man just want to outdo a next man killing. That's how me look on it. One gang always want to outdo the next gang type of killing. Yeah, there's no other explanation why a man gets a ruthless. The other day I was watching social media in scene which them execute a man and cut off him head. Have him head a kicking at the house and play football with it. You know, you can imagine that kind of heartlessness, that kind of stomach. You have to have strong stomach for do them something, brother.
Very strong.
You have to have a very strong heart, or you have to be heartless, just like all them heartless, you know. Yeah, so I think when a man commit a murder, depends on how him committed. And next man does say, well, I can better that. Yeah, and just come with something more barbaric. Because there's no other reason. Yeah? See, them being so barbaric, you can find a reason then for maybe a man turn to criminality. Yeah? In which you might say, boy, you know, him broke and him a try make a money, or the man there mash up him scheme, or that scamming, or whatever. But the type of killing, you cannot put a reason on it why a man that go out and way to becomes or to look more barbaric than the next man.
No, Admiral, you also said that we should fight fire with fire. But then this approach may not sit well with bodies like Indicom and Jamaicans for Justice. How do you propose bypassing this red tape?
Bringing up all right, it's the same like we have state of emergency.
Yes.
Where when state of emergency come out, then it give the power to the authorities then for detain you for a period of time or something like that. Bring in something like that to take out Indicom, Jamaica for Justice, human rights, all of them people that feel 6 months and put them aside, brother. Because you listen. I know of a fact, right, that police or law enforcement, if I use that word,
right,
afraid to discharge their weapon in fear that doing so when take them off of duty, when put them in front of the court, when them have to find them one court money, them have family too. Yeah, no, listen to me now, don't get me wrong, you know. I am not telling law enforcement to see an innocent man, yeah, and execute him or kick off his door or whatever.
Right.
What I am saying, this is what I am saying. I am saying if a man take up a firearm, right, and take somebody's life or try or attempt to take somebody's life, take back his life, man. Prevent him from taking the next man's life. Because if you don't do that, him going to continue to take that man's life and take another man's life and another man's life and another man's life. It is happening over and over and over again where All right then. You hear some man murder, just for argument's sake, 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
You go for him, why you afraid of anything, come, you afraid of this, you afraid of that. You hold him with the gun too, and you know I'm committing the crime, and you carry me in. Maybe some glitch in the justice system, just for argument's sake, and he either get him back scotch-free, or get a slap on him wrist based on the length of sentencing, or him come out on bail. 2 weeks later, or a week later, that same man there, again the police have to go for him for a different crime, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Check the levels.
And what
that same man,
do
you have to go for that same man again, and you're not going back for him now because the evidence now, you get the evidence pile up on him now, and the judge say, yeah man, I'm ready for him now, go for him at the sentencing. Yeah, go for him for a different case.
Wow.
What do you do with a man like that? Continue to rotate him in society for him to keep on reading out innocent, law-abiding, hard-working citizens.
You think it's a real serious problem of enforcement? Do they think that, because that's basically, it sounds like what you're saying in terms of the scourge of crime has to be criminal. You have to be more severe.
I know exactly where you're going. That's why I'm continuing to say yes, although you're speaking.
Yes.
Because listen to me now. If I know, say, I can take up a gun and I can go discharge it, and kill somebody. And when I face the judge, I get a little when them at lunchtime them call it. You get a little 10-year and then you come out in 8 in good behavior. What kind of deterrent that is going to be to me? As we come out and a man talk loud, me I go for my gun again because boy me just come back and make me alright. Yeah? But when you put in the type of deterrent, in at the thing, the man I go think 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times before him because I say, boy, John, me can't deal with that.
Because you know,
that is why one of my crime plans is, bring back hanging. Bring back hanging. And when I'm doing just bring back hanging. When a man do burglary, when a man does something called misdemeanor, you carry him go witness the man where do the violent crime. Make him see him for that kick. Make him see how vicious it is dying by the rope.
Yep.
Him don't want to commit no more crime because he don't want that way there. But when you keep on slapping the wrist, then you're not solving anything.
There are talks, Admiral Bailey, suggesting that music contributes to the rise in the crime and violence. As an entertainer yourself, do you agree?
Well, all right, listen now. I am not going to stay on this phone and be a hypocrite because I cannot be calling for something and then be hypocritical about it when certain questions face me. Some of the type of music that the younger generation is singing is yes, because when a man dig out him and middle, right? And when him done dig out him and middle and him put the thing when I'm and middle in a one piece of white paper and him drink a thing where you call the special, and him listen to the music and the music is like Corona Ariana, my body down, and then you the and middle something start talk to him and the special start talk to him, and it help influence him to go on Ariana, go body down. Because listen to me, me and you know that we are influential people.
Right.
People listen to us, people admire us, people adore us, people respect us. And when time me say, that man, they are my artist, and me hear my artist, I say, yo, what this me figure do? Me rate my artist, and when me listen to music and start dancing, me do him say me figure because That is why I'm my artist. That is why when me hear them they run this up and sting, me pay me last money to go watch him and the place ram up because I'm my artist. So you understand? Artists are followers. Yeah, it is like cult then, something like that. Yeah, when a man said I'm a damn artist, you know, he may follow him artist to the grave.
That's true.
So if some of the artists, yeah, change them tone and message, yeah, it will help for you. It will help, and I'm not gonna be like a hypocrite and behave like say it doesn't matter. It matter, and most of us want to start speak up now, like I'm speaking up.
Yes.
We need to change the tone, yeah,
the
and
narrative.
the direction where the music start going for true, yeah, to help soft and cushion what is happening.
You know, Admiral, we've been getting the wrap up signal, but wanted to find out from you. What is latest with Admiral Bailey? I mean, your crime plan is one big thing.
Solid.
But what's going on with the music? What are you promoting right now? And, you know, how has COVID treated you with all shows not performing and all of that? How you been managing?
Well, listen to me. I have to give God thanks and praise, you know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's a lot of things. I have survived COVID, not catching it, but I'm not bored. It has been good to me. I still make money. I want to tell you, I can share a little secret.
Yes.
The most money I make in a long time since COVID, so I don't know. COVID agree with some and COVID don't agree with some. But I if I sit down here and behave like, boy, you know, it mashed me up and I'll be, you know, God to take over my blessings. So me I give God thanks. I'm still in the studio and some work. I send them some material, but as I say, look like time, you know, catch up and we can't go in that direction right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm still here. I'm the technical director now at Tivoli Garden Football Club.
Oh, nice.
Yes, in charge of the overall program. So, you know, that's who you know, see me on the TV when the match I play. I am basically the person who set the ground rules, who really set the schedule for the coach follow and all of that. So, still doing the thing, you know what I mean?
Admiral. And in addition to Music Bones and Tivoli Gardens, if you go through Admiral Bailey's social media, you'll realize that he's a top chef.
Yes, so that we realize.
Yes.
You know what we have to do, Admiral? We're getting the rap signal here, so we're going to have to find a way one of these days to have you here in studio again, like back in the day.
Give me a part two and give me the whole show for myself.
Yes, man.
Yes. Yeah, because we don't touch the minister, we don't touch the commissioner.
Right, that you're calling for to resign.
Yes,
all right.
Part two, you know, so when you're ready, man.
When we're ready, we'll link you. Admiral, thank you so much for making time to talk to us. And, of course, big up yourself and keep on doing what you're doing, brother. Enough love.
All right, enough love and respect.
Every time. Admiral Bailey. We're up for a break. We'll be right back.
Half-Core Curamine Plus will remove inflammation from the body. Tanquest is a combination of herbs and fruits to remove toxins and pathogens from the body. Get your Curamine Plus and Tanquest from Half-Core Herbs and Extracts. 540-8871.
The time by Half-Core Curamine and Tanquest is...
It is 9:55, and of course, we now present Upbeat, keeping the tempo with producers. And of course, it's presented by DJ Collision. So here it is, Upbeat.
In the tempo with producer. Have you ever wondered what it's like being a producer? Yeah! What really happens behind the scenes? Oh, yummy. Or even what it takes to produce a track?
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
This week on Upbeat, producer Tavino from Young Generation Fraternity explains how his life transitioned into music. Tavino, welcome to Upbeat.
Bless up DJ Collision, the EBUZZ FM. Yeah, man. It's a blessing to be here, man.
Okay, so a lot of youths become interested in music during their school years. While you were at Calabar, did you foresee a future in music production?
Yes, while in high school at Calabar, I had the influence of music and the passion, the love from, say, grade 9. The break time, the regular routine, the decks and all of those stuff. So it was in me from that time. However, my approach to it when I finished high school was me in the business and managing. Because, I left with the business subjects them. So I approach it more as a business manager or as a manager for the studio. Because my dad had a record label, Junkyard, around say from 2008 to 2012. That's where I introduced myself and started to learn, scout, network things on YouTube, and professionally in 2016 now I registered my label. But I was basically apprentice, say from 2012 to 2016, learning the business. And 2016 I professionally started doing it the official way and the right way.
Wow, okay. Of all the projects you've worked on so far, which would you say is your favorite production?
To me, the limit is beyond the sky for me. You understand me? So I never settle for any favorite because I can always get better and I can always improve. So I just love everything, But there's always room for improvement for me. But I love everything. One that stand out was the first one. The first one going to be special, and that would be the Chronicles of Success, because that brought me into the market.
Okay, nice. All right, so you were once regarded as one of Jamaica's youngest producers. What advice would you give to upcoming producers who are seeking a break into the industry?
My advice when upcoming producers or any entrepreneurs, just always believe, try to maximize your risk. So if you fall back, you can balance back. You understand me? And take opportunities. You understand me? Seek avenues, seek revenues, seek loans, because sometimes we borrow, so we don't have the capital when you have a lot of loan facilities that can help us. So before waiting and help yourself first. You understand me? And just always remember, say, you register and pay your tax and you keep up to date with your business like any other business.
Upbeat.
You're a great one.
From a dollar to a bill, from me get to know we in a Bugatti. Every man a look at it. Me run the road like taxi on the road. Them like the avenue, my goal. Pasadena, Malibu. Yo, what do you, my goal? Man, African for true, classic attribute. Me have to chop the food, forgive my family and me youth. The God recruit, the gadgets and the troops, like the Nazis and the Jews. Tell the Babylon to move, I say the catty and refuse. Get the matches and the fuel, give them ashes and the fume. Yeah, we bad beyond the moon, highest altitude. Me contribute. Christian want to have me youth. Rasta girl, we have the roots of power. Tabadas in my room, we interact with attitude. Me no plan to do. From dirt to the Bentley, now we them rich boys envy. From nil to a century, we like the street evidently. Yeah, my girl in a harp rider, pull up now my jean shots. Big body Benz, man I drive fast. RR, the whole squad, them not laugh. Money no, so you know say we flash. Yeah, big body Benz, man I drive fast. Touchdown like NFL. First class and no coach shots, never bell. Me your girlfriend look on it, so she dead.
When you see me lean to the left, lean to the right, that wine your right to the wickedest. When you see me lean to the right, lean to the left, that wine your right to the wickedest. Ain't nobody make me move like the way you make me do. You alone get me moving like that.
Matter down, spliff hot too. Then I talk about still it, then mad put it.
Hello. Big up Tavino for passing through.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me, man. Like I said, just look out for more music. We have a lot of mixtape, Deep Dry EP, Rumba EP. What a sentence, man. Unity.
Tune in to Upbeat with me, DJ Collision, this and every Wednesday as we keep the tempo with the geniuses who work on these hits.
That one not name, it bumped up on it, it bumped up on it. When we set up on things, that one not name, it bumped up on it.
Hey, thank you very much, DJ Collision with Upbeat, keeping the tempo with producers. Really tight on time tonight, so do you want us to close the credits and then we leave with the dancehall?
Yes, I believe so. So big up, of course, to Don Reid and Admiral Bailey for coming through and sharing with us.
Thanks to everyone who made the EBUZZ possible. We want to say a special thanks to our in-studio production assistant, Vivian Stewart, production assistants, Shamara Preston and Jody Ann Dawkins, our technical operators, DJ Lollipop, studio engineers, DJ Kamar, telephone operator, Jody Kate Tucker, and, of course, social media, Peter Broadbar. We're out of here for this week. We're going to be making way for the top 10, the IRFM top 10 dancehall chart recap with Courtney Mack and DJ Brian. Then after that, we'll have Muta Baruka with the cutting edge. So I'm DJ Bones.
And I'm Kishima Francis. See you next week.
We out.
This is the Guinness Dancehall Top 10 Countdown.
I wonder is who really run dancehall. Who really have the number one song?
All the youths them want to know.
Who run dancehall?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah!
Coming in at number 10 for this week's Ken Gunman Shift.
Number 9, Shensia Dali.
Number 8, Protocol, Tommy Lee Skeng.
Number 7, New Gear, Intense.
Number 6, Update Massacre.
Number 5, Skeng, Intense, Heaven Passport.
Number 4, King Massacre.
Number 3, Joshie, Keep Up.
Number 2, Love Story Massacre. And the number 1 song for this week, for the second time around, on the IRFM Dancehall Top 10 Countdown. Massacre. Suicide Note. Number 1.
Yeah. Looking at my life and you will find hope. Ever sit down yet and write
Big song or big song. The Guinness Top 10 charts is where it happens. Only big songs make this chart.
Dancehall can't stand.
Dancehall, I me everything.